Hello, my name is Rachel Cash and I'm representing my company, Elroi. Before I begin what Elroi is offering, I would like to talk about your rights and privacy. At Elroi, our two driving principles and what we really believe in is you're entitled to your privacy rights. And our second key principle is that you own the data that you have. Data is a commodity and we believe in individual ownership. So Elroi is a mobile application currently. Well, first let me back up. Let's talk about the problem in the market. If our principles for Elroi is that a consumer is entitled to your privacy rights, which is implied through the Constitution, as well as your right to own anything that's your private property, so your data is a commodity. The problem existing in the market today is that internet users, your mobile applications, you do not have the privacy that you used to have as part of this new global and a cyber community, as well as data is being sold and profited off of by companies every day. Currently, the global market for mobile applications are worth $500 million as of 2017, but there's still an issue when they're talking about protecting your security and your privacy going forward. For Elroi, what we focus on is a VPN that has security of military-grade VPN security. So we're encrypting your data, which one is entitling you to more privacy. And two, we have a dark web monitoring tool. So what is the dark web? I know that's like everybody's scared. What is that? So people sell data on the dark web every day. It's part of the commodity outside of companies selling your data legally. With our dark web monitoring tool, we do scrubbing on the dark web to say, consumer or user of Elroi, look up your Yahoo account. We all know there was a Yahoo account breach. If you look up your Yahoo account, Elroi's application will bring up any breaches that have occurred from the past and tell you how many incidents occurred and a timeline of when that data breach happened. So I'm talking about VPNs, data breaches, and a lot for my users, it goes over their head and they stop listening, their eyes gloss over. For Elroi, the next key principle is education. You can't have something actionable unless you understand what you're doing. So with our dark web monitoring tool, if we identify a breach, we then give actionable tips for you to solution your breach. If you put in your Social Security number and there is a breach with your Social Security number, we give you the your credit bureau company's phone number, what you need to do, how to freeze your accounts. So this is our interface. Elroi is this little guy here. I wanted it to, well, one, I got the name Elroi from the Jetsons. So I wanted it to be very user-friendly and cute. So I bothered people about this. And then for our VPN and dark web monitoring tool, these are our first two features, and then we have coming soon features which would include your password management as well as your health score. So based on how much your data has been exposed, as well as if you're using our VPN, we'll be assigning health scores and again educating you on how to be a better internet user on your phone. So this is just continuing our what our application looks like. Our VPN offers 5 VPN locations. When you're connected to your VPN, you get a happy Elroi face. If you're not connected, you get a sad Elroi face, just to help our users make it as user-friendly as possible. So where we are today, I started Elroi, and I was an annoying person. I started with 300 initial users. There was no application when I began this process. It was just me sending emails and telling people how to be a better internet user going forward. Since then, we started the development stage of building the Elroi application, focusing on these two first features as not to overwhelm people. And we also just signed our first contract with Chemical Maze in Southfield, Michigan, that has 1,000 employees. We will be launching this weekend. Yeah, all in 1 week. Our business model includes in-app purchases. So you can test Elroi for 3 days for free, and then it will prompt you to pay for our services. If you do not pay and go to premium, then you would have limited access to our VPN. So we'd have we shorten the time, and it will be a slower VPN use. It will slow down your data time. What is creative is, again, what is creative about this? VPNs exist in our market right now. There are security tools that exist right now, but people do not use tools that they don't understand. And there's hundreds of people and millions of people that don't understand privacy and data and what they can do going forward. So that is what our innovation is and what we're focused on, education. We kind of did this, our addressable market. There's roughly specifically for VPN, it's $2 billion, and we're at $4.99 per month. A little bit about me, I'm an attorney, I'm a privacy attorney. And I'm sure, let's say for example, if you guys have taxes, you want to go to someone who worked for the IRS. For Elroi, I'm someone who does privacy law, that's what I practice, and you want someone who knows about data. Thank you.
How was the technology developed?
So when I first started with the 300, I coded the talking for Elroi. And then when I decided my first two features for the VPN and the dark web, I decided to get additional teams. So it's 7 Mile Apps. They're located in Detroit, Michigan, helped me. So I built out my architecture and then had them build the VPN connections with, I use Amazon Web Services for my servers.
How much does that run you per?
Amazon is about $1,000 a month right now, but that will change as more users come on to see what our capacity is for our instances that we have for our Amazon Web Services.
Are you still planning on having the tech third party, or are you bringing that in-house?
I would like to bring it in-house. That's my goal. Yeah.
Okay, with this round of funding.
Right.
How do you define a breach?
So a breach is any third party that has the data that they're not entitled to. So when you had the Yahoo breach, for example, when the passwords or your username or email address was exposed to third parties that weren't supposed to have it, that was our breach. We have a partner who does the scrubbing for us to safely do the searches, but that's our definition of a breach for anybody that you didn't want to have the passwords, which is pretty much no one but the company you're doing business with.
Did you develop this by yourself, or do you have a group of people that you work with?
So when I began, it was by myself. Then
Funded it yourself?
So I have 10% of seed fund, and then the rest of it, which the seed fund went through quickly, is by my day job.
So you still work full time?
Correct.
In another business?
Yep.
In the law business?
Yes.
Can you tell me more about this contract you signed with Chemical Maze?
Yep, so they have 1,000 employees. I spoke with the CEO. What he doesn't have currently, he has a lot of people use their personal devices as part of their business. I'm sure a lot of people right now do that. They don't have separate business phones. And his concern is that the data that's on those phones are not secure for his employees. So that was part of his contract, is that what we're doing for them. So all the employees, I'm working with their IT team and security team to ensure that all the employees are part of their system for Texas, or Chemical Maze.
What's the revenue on that contract, and how's that structured?
So we worked out for $299 per of his employees. So and that's half of what we would get for a normal user, but just because it would be a continual contract with them.
It's $299 a month.
$299 a month.
What's the length of the contract?
2 years.
How are you going to go from 300 users to 20,000 users?
So on going into next month, we have 14 brand ambassadors on college campuses. We use the Facebook model, which Facebook started with in Ivy Leagues and spread out between the students. Students don't like internet that are have controls on campuses. So VPNs also let them do Instagram and on YouTube. So our brand ambassadors are at 2 Ivy Leagues, I think 6 HBCUs, which are historically black colleges, and the rest are in this, like in the Southern Belt. So our plan, and then we also have, well, I'm spending I signed a contract with a marketing company, so we're doing, I have $10,000 in marketing for US-based users for install. So a US installation costs about $1 per user, and then $1,000 for international users, which should translate to about $3,000. But as you grow, you like go up in the App Store.
You've got a nice contract here with a company.
Mm-hmm.
Why go B2C if the B2B route seems to be what's working?
So the business-to-business route was was a person I knew, and I spoke to them about it, and it was really, I was selling to him personally, and then his interest was for the rest of his employees. We haven't identified how to track for him. I could do it within his network because I know him. I haven't identified yet how to track for a business and make big business contracts, so they're paying, because his model's a little different, $2.99, he'll write me the check, but most companies want to be able to track how many of their users are using in the database, and we haven't worked on that part of the technology yet.
I think that's kind of the exciting part there, because that's a good use case too. Like everyone, it's something every business has to deal with, like,
Yeah.
especially ones that don't have separate business.
Yeah, bring your own device is something that exists in everybody's business now.
Exactly.
So, yep.
So I would just encourage you to look at
Go on, yeah.
But they're paying it for each employee.
Right, but I can't say if an employee is using it yet because I haven't figured out that technology. So I agree, that is definitely something, and revenue, that's part of my sustainability plan.
What level of funding or revenue do you need to get to go full-time on this?
I haven't even thought about it yet, to tell you the truth, to be completely honest, just trying to keep up with all the different things I have to keep up with. I'm just like, okay, what is the next amount of funding, money that I need to write the check for, so.
Anything else, judges?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.